Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Rhea Ripley is one of the top faces of WWE, and The Rock also acknowledged Mommy's hard work and talent when they crossed paths recently. Today, the 28-year-old superstar sent an emotional reaction from when she met the final boss. Raw's Netflix debut was star-studded as legends, veterans, and current stars filled the card and exceeded expectations by the end of the night. Recently, WWE released a backstage video where multiple stars interacted with each other, including The Rock and Rhea Ripley. In the video, the final boss praised the Eradicator for all her hard work and dedication towards the Stamford-based promotion ahead of her title match. Today, the Women's World Champion reflected on the interaction and sent an emotional response to the video on X, FKA Twitter. What did The Rock say to Rhea Ripley on WWE Raw? Raw's Netflix debut was in the works for a considerable time as the company announced its eventual move from the USA Network in 2024. Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley feuded with Liv Morgan for months after Morgan took everything from Ripley following WrestleMania 40. After 2 pinfalls on the Women's World Champion, the Eradicator got her final shot against Morgan and the title when the Red brand made its global debut on Netflix. The show was flooded with legends and veterans, and The Rock appeared on the show twice in one night. In a video uploaded by WWE, the final boss caught up with Mommy as she was preparing for her title match. The veteran gave her the flowers she deserved for carrying the company and the women's division for months and wished her the best of luck against Liv Morgan. "Sorry, I don't want to bother you. I just want to say good luck. Do your thing. Do your thing. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks for carrying the company," The Rock said. 158-208. In the end, the Eradicator won the Women's World Championship and crossed paths with another legend. The Undertaker appeared and had a moment with Rhea Ripley following her title win against Liv Morgan. The lights in the arena dimmed as WWE's iconic theme music filled the air. Fans erupted into deafening cheers when The Rock's theme hit and the legendary wrestler-turned-Hollywood superstar made his way to the ring. The People's Champion was back on Monday Night Raw after years away, and the excitement was palpable. However, what would unfold that night would transcend the usual electrifying showmanship and create a moment of heartfelt connection between 2 superstars from different eras, Rhea Ripley and The Rock. The Rock returns to Raw. As The Rock stood in the center of the ring, microphone in hand, he soaked in the crowd's energy. Finally, The Rock has come back to Monday Night Raw. His booming voice brought nostalgia to the crowd. Fans chanted his name, and his signature eyebrow raise sent waves of cheers throughout the arena. He spoke about his journey, his love for WWE, and his admiration for the new generation of superstars carrying the business forward. "It's not about The Rock anymore," he said. "It's about the ones in this ring, grinding, sweating, and giving everything they've got to entertain you. And tonight, The Rock wants to shine a spotlight on one of the most dominant forces WWE has ever seen." The audience buzzed with anticipation. Who was The Rock talking about? Enter Rhea Ripley. The Judgment Day's music blared through the speakers, and Rhea Ripley emerged, flanked by Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. The imposing Eradicator carried her Women's World Championship over her shoulder, exuding her usual confidence. Her cold stare was locked on The Rock as she made her way to the ring. The tension was thick as Rhea stepped into the squared circle. She tilted her head, eyeing The Rock with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "What do you want, Rock?" she asked, her Australian accent cutting through the noise. The Rock smiled, leaning casually against the ropes. "What The Rock wants, Rhea, is to give credit where credit is due. You're standing here as the Women's World Champion. You're fearless, relentless, and The Rock sees that fire in you. That same fire he had when he stepped into this ring for the first time." An unexpected compliment. Rhea raised an eyebrow, clearly caught off guard by the unexpected compliment. The crowd roared as The Rock continued. "Rhea Ripley, you're not just the future of this business, you are the present," he declared. You dominate the ring, you control the narrative, and you've taken the women's division to heights that would make even legends like Trish Stratus and Lita proud. That's why The Rock says you're one of the best to ever do it." For a moment, Rhea's icy demeanor cracked. The camera caught the subtle flicker of emotion in her eyes, and the crowd began chanting, "You deserve it." "I don't need validation from you or anyone else," Rhea retorted, her voice steady but softer than usual. "But, I'll admit, coming from you, it means something." The Rock gets personal. The Rock wasn't done. "You see, Rhea, The Rock knows what it's like to feel like you've got the world against you. To carry that chip on your shoulder and prove everyone wrong. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting to show that you belong in this business, no matter what anyone says." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "But The Rock also knows it's okay to take a moment and let people appreciate you. You've earned that, champ." Rhea's stoic expression wavered as the crowd erupted into another chant of her name. A vulnerable moment. For the first time in what felt like forever, Rhea Ripley appeared vulnerable. She glanced down at her championship belt, then back at The Rock. "You know," she began, her voice uncharacteristically quiet, "I grew up watching you, The Rock. You were larger than life. You made people believe they could be anything. And now, standing here in this ring with you, I never thought I'd be here. Not like this." The crowd fell silent, hanging on to her every word. "You're right," Rhea continued, her voice breaking slightly. "I've always fought with a chip on my shoulder. I've always had to prove I'm not just some girl from Australia trying to make it in a man's world. And hearing you say I've earned this, it's surreal." The hug heard around the world. The Rock extended his arms, gesturing for a hug. At first, Rhea hesitated, glancing at her Judgment Day teammates outside the ring. But when the crowd started chanting, "Hug it out," she finally stepped forward. As the two embraced in the middle of the ring, the arena erupted into cheers. The camera zoomed in on Rhea's face, capturing a tear rolling down her cheek. It was a rare, raw moment that reminded everyone watching that even the toughest superstars have their vulnerable sides. Judgment Day reacts. Outside the ring, Dominic Mysterio looked uncomfortable, while Finn Balor and Damian Priest exchanged confused glances. They were used to Rhea being the unshakable backbone of their faction. Seeing her emotional side left them unsure how to react. Back in the ring, The Rock gave Rhea a pat on the back before stepping away. "Rhea Ripley, you're a badass. Keep doing what you're doing, and the sky's the limit." Rhea's emotional exit. As The Rock left the ring to another round of thunderous applause, Rhea remained standing in the center, visibly moved. She raised her championship high above her head, and the crowd roared in approval. Walking back up the ramp, she paused at the top, turning to take one last look at the cheering fans. Her usual confident smirk returned, but her eyes still glistened with unshed tears. Backstage fallout. Backstage, Rhea was greeted by several superstars who congratulated her on the moment. Even Triple H, who rarely appeared on screen these days, approached her. "That was one hell of a moment out there," he said. Rhea nodded, still processing what had happened. "I didn't expect him to say all that. It hit me harder than I thought it would. A lasting impact." The segment quickly became the talk of the wrestling world. Social media exploded with clips and reactions, with fans praising both The Rock's heartfelt words and Rhea's emotional response. Many called it one of the most genuine moments in WWE history. For Rhea Ripley, the interaction with The Rock wasn't just a career milestone, it was a personal validation of everything she had worked so hard to achieve. And while she would undoubtedly return to her dominant, ruthless persona in the ring, fans now had a deeper appreciation for the person behind the Eradicator. In the weeks that followed, Rhea embraced the moment, even referencing it during promos. "The Rock reminded me why I do this," she said on Raw. "And now, I'm more motivated than ever to prove why I'm the most dominant champion in WWE history." Conclusion. Rhea Ripley's heartfelt interaction with The Rock wasn't just a passing moment, it became a defining chapter in her journey. It showcased her humanity, solidified her as a generational talent, and reminded everyone why WWE remains the place where unforgettable memories are made.